It is the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. We're here every single day from 5 to 6 talking about the local issues that matter to you most and taking your phone calls at 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. You can email me as well, randykabc@gmail.com. That's randykabc@gmail.com. Well, one of the most emblematic stories about Los Angeles this year has to be the saga of Tagger Tower, the unfinished development when a Chinese firm went bankrupt. Could have been bribing Jose Huizar. We're not sure. It's been sitting as an eyesore for years and years and years, and the Taggers realized, hey, what if I went up to every one of those 30 stories and I put some graffiti on it? It became an international tourist attraction. It not only had the people that were tagging the tower, you had people base jumping off the tower. You had one guy trying to do a high wire act on the tower. Well, Tagger Tower is still not going anywhere. Tagger Tower still hasn't been bought. Tagger Tower is not going to be redeveloped into any kind of housing anytime soon. So we're just going to let the tourist attraction continue, because now somebody has made a life-changing decision for themselves in one of the worst possible ways. There is a man who thought to get in on all the fun, all the great action of Tagger Tower, to get a tattoo of Tagger Tower on his back.
The neighborhood kids, the down-ass kids don't like it.
And not a little tattoo, a tattoo as big as his entire back to represent how big Tagger Tower is. For more on the Tagger Tower tattoo, there's some alliteration for you. Here's NBC4.
Well, over the past few months, we have shared many stories on the graffiti towers in downtown Los Angeles. The abandoned towers have seen everything from base jumpers to tightrope walkers.
But this is a new one. The towers are now a tattoo. First and only on 4. NBC4's Alex Rosier joins us live from downtown with the tower tattoos. Alex.
Colleen, just when you think you've seen it all, not so fast. These graffiti-filled towers have quickly become one of LA's newest attractions. And no matter what happens with the graffiti on this abandoned project, you will always be able to see it on one man's back.
Imagine 5 years from now, if this is no longer a thing and they actually redevelop that thing. What is this guy going to explain to people, this monstrosity on his back? What happens if he happens to go swimming? What happens if he's going for a jog and wants to pop off the top? Not so fast, mister.
Whether you like it or hate it, people have strong feelings about the graffiti-filled Oceanwide Plaza development downtown Los Angeles.
Well, we know how the down-ass kids feel.
The neighborhood kids, the down-ass kids don't like it.
They tagged it up.
I like it. It's a way of art.
Miguel Angel Rodriguez likes the tag tower so much, he decided to turn it into art on his body.
It's crazy how just one tattoo blows up.
He came up with the idea earlier this year.
He's been planning this. This is not an impulsive decision. He has thought about this. He has slept on it. He is getting a Tagger Tower tattoo on his back.
He came up with the idea earlier this year.
My homeboys are like, hey, let me do a back piece. I'm all like, yeah, I'm down. He's all like, what were you thinking? And I'm like, hey, the skyscrapers.
These.
Oh my, this isn't going to be cheap either.
These skyscrapers.
It took us like 2 sessions to do majority of it in the outline.
Eric Reyna was the tattoo artist.
You're not done yet.
Yeah, no, we still got a long ways to go. We still got to add another building right here. Then I want to add another portrait.
This tattoo artist is going to be able to put his kids through college.
Then I want to add another portrait.
Miguel used to live downtown and watch these towers go up.
Then I could go on my rooftop and see all this from, like I said, I seen it from nothing to something to nothing.
The development was supposed to be home to condos, a hotel, retail, and more. But now it's abandoned and become a canvas for graffiti artists.
It really is the most Los Angeles thing ever.
In addition to
we should just keep it there as a memorial to the corruption and idiocy of Los Angeles local government.
In addition to the graffiti, there's been base jumpers here even a tightrope walker.
Thanks, I'm coming for you.
But a tattoo, that's new.
No one else has this.
Hey, that rhymed.
But a tattoo, that's new.
No one else has this tattoo, do they?
Not that I've known. And it's just crazy. Like I say, rappers like it, celebrities are liking it.
Recently, the abandoned complex was put up for sale, so the future of these towers and this graffiti is unknown. But this seems pretty permanent.
Until I pass away.
Well, until he goes to removery or laser away, or I don't think Dr. Tadoff's a thing anymore. But at some point, this thing's coming off. If this man is not already married, which I don't think he is, because what wife would say yes to this? So if he's married and she did say yes, wow. If he's married and he didn't tell her, that's the end of that relationship. If he's single, he will stay single.
But this seems pretty permanent.
Until I pass away, you know? Then after that, it's off the map.
But as of now, it's on.
Maybe in the casket, he'll be face down so you can see the Tiger Tower tattoo as he goes 6 feet deep.
But as of now, it's on the map. This LA eyesore or art piece is now a back piece.
I'm like, why not? I'm 45. Who's going to tell me anything?
You know how people like to say, well, you know, once you're like in your early 20s, you make dumb decisions. You don't have a fully formed brain. This guy's in his mid-40s. Mid-40s. And getting a full-size back tattoo of Tiger Tower. I mean, guy seems to be enjoying himself.
Why not? You know, in addition to the graffiti tower, Miguel also has Crypto.com Arena on his head. He's also talking about...
This guy is a walking, talking endorsement. And no, as much as I love our clients here on KEBC, and I love my endorsements, and I love to promote things that I care about, I am not getting a tattoo. It's not happening. I'm not getting a Fiddlehead Sellers tattoo, a Clark Fielding tattoo. I'm not getting a McKernan Inspections tattoo. It's not happening. Sterling Venue Ventures, I love you, no tattoo.
Crypto.com Arena on his head. He's also talking about adding the 6th Street Bridge. So soon he may have several.
So if he gets a tattoo of the 6th Street Bridge, and he probably has it all lit up, when the copper wire thieves come and take all the lives off of the 6th Street Bridge, is there a way that he can get the tattoo touched up so then it looks dark?
Adding the 6th Street Bridge. So soon he may have several LA landmarks. But who would have thought? The graffiti towers, now a tattoo. Reporting live, I'm Alex Rozier, NBC4 News.
If you hear concern in my voice, it's because I feel for Miguel. You know what? God love you. You do you. Whatever makes you happy. But I happen to know from personal experience that there are some tattoos that are cool. There are some tattoos that you might really like. But there are a lot of tattoos that come with a lot of regret. I speak from personal experience. You might not know about the 2 tattoos that I have. They're on my shoulders, so they're pretty well hidden unless I'm in the pool. Although my wife has to see them, and we've been together almost 11 years, and she still laughs at me. See, if you go back to the fall of 2009, a very young, impressionable me, Randy Wang, host of a podcast at the time called The Pretty Good Podcast, was constantly looking for exciting, fun things to do that would be cool to talk about on the podcast. Hey, look at what I did. Hey, check out this. I'm so cool. I'm so hip. I'm so fun. I went to Universal Studios. Let's talk all about it. Well, in a very ill-advised moment that was not brought on by alcohol, I don't even think it was brought on by weed, but I was smoking a lot of weed in 2009. I decided, while hanging out with some friends, that what I need to do is go to Hollywood Boulevard and get myself a tattoo. I never had a tattoo. I wanted to put something on my shoulder that represented how I was feeling about myself at the time. So I remember being on Hollywood Boulevard at a place called Zebra Tattoo. God help us if it's still in business. A guy named Seven was my artist, And when he asked what I wanted, I was very clear. It's not like I had to go through a book and pick out a design or figure out what I wanted. I knew what I wanted. I was so sure I wanted it. And at the time, as a 24-year-old, I was so sure that I wanted this forever, for the rest of my life. I asked Seven, the tattoo artist, if he could forever memorialize my radio name on my shoulder. That's right. I was not given the name Randy Wang at birth. We've all heard the story. We know that my real name is actually Ryan Wong. But at the time, I was really feeling the Randy Wang of it all. I felt popular. I felt cool. I was always going to want to celebrate how great the radio personality Randy Wang was. So, in red and black ink, scribbled on my shoulder with stars and music notes, because I think he thought I was a DJ, is Randy Wang. It is hideous. It has been fading because the tattoo is, 15 years old almost? And it's not like I want to get this piece of garbage touched up. It's quite embarrassing. Somehow, my wife has looked past it, and we've been able to live a very nice life together. But I think I went about a year thinking this is a really good idea before I admitted to myself and to the world, no, this was a terrible idea. Oh my goodness. The day after I got it, I think I went with my family to, it was either Magic Mountain or Universal Studios, and I still had the plastic wrap on there, and my parents found out. They were not happy. I believe the correct phrasing was, "You're out of the will." Now, that's not the only tattoo I have. I have a second tattoo on my other shoulder. This one I'm not as embarrassed about. I actually got the logo of my old podcast tattooed on my shoulder to celebrate 500 episodes. So that one's got a little bit of a memory. It's kind of interesting because the tattoo says "The Pretty Good Podcast," and it has a cartoon representation of me and a cartoon representation of my radio partner back then, Gina Gratt. It has faded. I have not gotten it touched up. I am actively considering getting both removed because they don't really do it for me. Luckily, they're on parts of my body that are easily hidden, but boy, do I regret definitely getting the Randy Wang tattoo. I don't regret getting the PGP tattoo, but I really wish they weren't permanent. But I'm sure I'm not the only person out there that at some point in their lives made a decision that would affect them forever until they went to a remove clinic. So I have unburdened myself and I have shared my shame. If there is anybody out there who would like to do the same, this is your support group. You can admit to the world anonymously through the radio that you have some monstrosity of a tattoo on your body that you regret. Could also be your spouse has one that you wish they'd get rid of. If you've got a tattoo that you regret getting, tell me what it is. 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. I don't think anyone's going to top me getting my stage name tattooed on my shoulder in red and black ink. But maybe I'm wrong. Is my tattoo any dumber than getting the Tagger Tower tattooed on your back? I think it's about the same level of dumbness. But I can't be the only one out there. If you have a dumb tattoo that you wish you could get rid of, that you regret getting, tell me all about it. Tell me where you got it. Tell me what you thought was so cool you needed to memorialize on your body. 800-222-KABC. 1-800-222-5222. If you're like me and you're like Mr. Miguel here and you've got a really embarrassing tattoo, give me a call. 800-222-KABC. 1-800-222-5222. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang. I know that because it's tattooed on my freaking shoulder. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. We're taking your phone calls at 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. A man thought it was a great idea to get the Tiger Towers from downtown LA tattooed on his back.
The neighborhood kids, the down-ass kids don't like it.
It has reminded me of the god-awful tattoo of the name Randy Wang I have on my shoulder. If you have a regrettable tattoo that you would like to share, I'd like to hear your story, because with support, we can all acknowledge each other's pain. 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Let's start with Bill in West Covina. Bill, hello.
Randy, I recognize your talent when you were at the other station. I'm not surprised KBC stole you away.
Oh, thank you.
So when I was 17 years old, I was a Marine station in Japan, and I thought it would be a good idea to get the word Texas and a Texas Longhorn bull tattooed on my forearm. And I've been explaining to people the rest of my life that I'm not from Texas. People from California say, oh, the only thing come from Texas is steers and queers. And I said, well, good thing I'm from Hacienda Heights. And you know what people from Texas say to me? You're
What's
not
that?
from Texas.
Now, Bill, this is incredible because I got to tell you an absolutely true story. My uncle, who passed away a few years ago, born and raised in Beverly Hills, he had a big tattoo on his arm with the word Texas. He has never been to Texas either.
Well, I actually lived there. I went to high school there. I usually tell people I went to school there, but then they think I went to the University of Texas, and I have to explain to them that I wasn't that smart.
Well, I appreciate you sharing your story, Bill. Thank you so much for calling in. We appreciate it. Yeah, my Uncle Randy had a Texas tattoo. Not from Texas. I think he went there once. So I guess it runs in the family.
The neighborhood kids, the down-ass kids don't like it.
Let's go to Matt in Orange. Matt, hello.
Hello. Yeah.
Hey.
There. Hey. Yeah. So I was going to try and do an iron cross myself on my arm, and I couldn't get the 4 triangles to come together right, so I did a swastika instead.
Oh, no.
Not quite the same thing.
No, it's not.
So I've spent the last 20 years explaining to everybody why I have a big old swastika on my arm that I did myself with a jar of India ink and a needle.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, you've got everybody beat. Nobody's going to beat that call. Matt, thank you so much for the call. Appreciate it. Oh, my goodness. Okay, now I don't feel as bad about the Randy Wang tattoo. But I would like to get it removed. So I'm going to be looking into that. Laser Away, Removery, are you listening? I could use the help. 800-222-KABC is the phone number. 1-800-222-5222. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. It is the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. We're here every single day from 5 to 6 talking about the local issues that matter to you most and taking your phone calls at 800-222-KABC, 1-800-222-5222. Your emails as well at randykabc@gmail.com. That's randykabc@gmail.com. Glenn from Tahunga writes in at randykabc@gmail.com. Don't be ashamed. I have a tattoo of a knockoff of G&S Surf Company in honor of my best friend who says S&G established 1984. This is done in about 2004 in Hollywood, very drunk. I haven't spoken to that dude in over 4 years. Looking for a cover-up. There is nothing that you will be so attached to for the rest of your life that it is worth getting tattooed. Maybe there is. But the Randy Wang tattoo, dumb. I made a lot of dumb mistakes in my 20s. I did a lot of really dumb things, as we all did. But, I don't have to think about all the drinking I did. I don't have to think about all the smoking pot or the year I was all into ecstasy or any of that. But I think about this tattoo every time I'm brushing my teeth. Speaking of email bag, there's a story that a ton of people emailed because they want to hear us talk about it, because it is quite shocking if you don't know what's been going on the last few years in the world of the LA County Department of Public Health.
Yeah.
That's right. It's Ferrer time.
Next slide.
Because thanks to a viral video that I first saw on our buddy Street People of Los Angeles' account and then getting picked up by Fox 11, local residents in downtown LA near Skid Row are outraged at a LA County public funded crack den. What is it? Well, it's Homeless Healthcare Los Angeles, a nonprofit that is funded by Barbara Ferrer.
I have no idea.
That passes out crack pipes and meth pipes to anyone that will take them. And there are drug dealers waiting right outside of the Homeless Healthcare Los Angeles location to sell the meth or said crack.
No, thank you.
For more on this, let's go to Fox 11 News.
It's a daily ritual. People line up outside the nonprofit Homeless Healthcare Los Angeles. They pick up crack.
Wonder how many people have gotten rich off the suffering of homeless people at Homeless Healthcare Los Angeles. Because if your duty in life, if your call to action, your passion in life is to give people meth pipes and foil and little straws, you're not doing anybody any favors. You are not helping them. This is not harm reduction.
They pick up crack pipes and other drug paraphernalia and light up.
It looks very much like a government-run crack house on the sidewalk. How else can you...
What do we like? Do we like crack house or crack den? I like crack den.
How else can you describe this?
Throughout the day, drug dealers can be seen making a profit, selling the drugs to the people Homeless Healthcare LA is supposed to be helping. Here, you see someone connected to the nonprofit do a friendly fist bump with one of the drug dealers before going inside the building.
I'm so sick of the term nonprofit at this point because these people are profiting off of this. This is not donation funded. This is funded by the county. The county contracts with these service providers. So your tax dollars, my tax dollars are going towards meth pipes.
Next slide.
And Barbara Ferrer is the one who's making those decisions. Oh, boy.
Here, you see someone connected to the nonprofit do a friendly fist bump with one of the drug dealers before going inside the building.
Yep, those employees really care about the health care of homeless people.
What you see in this video is nothing short of the worst drug location in Skid Row right now. And that's saying a lot, because Skid Row is the drug and overdose capital of Los Angeles.
Estela Lopez is the executive director of LA Downtown Industrial Business Improvement District. A year ago, she notified city and county officials about everything taking place outside this nonprofit.
I represent business people, people who come there to work. People live on Skid Row and people work on Skid Row. And they want their area to be safe. They deserve the same level of safety and attention.
And they're not getting that when you are literally attracting as many drug addicts as you can because we're passing out free paraphernalia to anyone that will take it.
As any other community.
When nothing was done about it, Estela hired a photographer to capture the daily activities at this location.
Good for her. This is how this story gets out there. This is one of those things where when nobody's paying attention, you might think that the average person supports these policies. But once you see it, once you know that this is what we're doing, you just have to believe, even in Los Angeles, most people do not think we should be spending our tax dollars on meth pipes and crack pipes.
No, thank you.
On July 2nd, she showed the video to city and county officials.
The county doubled down after seeing this video. They doubled down on harm reduction and saying that this is the kind of intervention that they support.
Yep. They don't support treatment. They support passing out meth pipes.
I have a hard time understanding logic.
And she makes $650,000 a year to make those decisions.
Harm reduction programs provide meth pipes and needles with the idea that they prevent the spread of diseases. We reached out to LA Mayor Karen Bass and the LA County Board of Supervisors. Only the LA City Attorney, Heidi Feldstein Soto, agreed to speak with us.
If they defend this policy, if they love harm reduction so much, if they love the program that we're spending money on for Homeless Healthcare Los Angeles to pass out the meth pipes, then why aren't they going on camera to defend it?
Where do I personally stand? The video shows unacceptable behavior. It's appalling.
But she admits there is tension between the politics of public health and the politics of law enforcement and public safety.
There are, as I said, different perspectives. And I believe that the county has even asked us to support expanding the services offered at this site. And
imagine what it's going to be like in November when Prop 36 passes, hopefully, and the police can start arresting people again for doing drugs. And in court, the person who got arrested's excuse and their defense is, well, the county gave me the pipes. What did you think I was going to do with it? It's entrapment.
We have informed them that our office will not stand down from prosecution if, in fact, the services are expanded.
And the services are scheduled to be expanded. Homeless Healthcare Los Angeles is opening 2 new locations in the same area.
Even more nonprofit homeless advocates getting rich off of human suffering.
Should harm reduction centers be regulated?
So from my perspective, yes, I think they should be. But I'm not the policymaker, and I'm not going to get out in front of my client. And ultimately, I will defend whatever decision they may make.
For Estella, who has to witness this every day, it's extremely frustrating.
Here you have a building and a program funded by the county that are clearly enabling drug use and drug sales on the people's sidewalk.
Unbelievable.
The Department of Public Health sent us a long statement that says in part, harm reduction services save lives. Across Los Angeles County, harm reduction programs reverse over 700 overdoses each month.
Yeah, but this isn't the Narcan. This isn't that program. This is passing out meth pipes.
According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, harm reduction services are effective and cost-saving, do not increase illegal drug use, and play an important role in reducing the transmission of viral hepatitis, HIV, and other infections.
If they don't increase drug use, explain why Santa Monica turned into a hellhole after Barbara Ferrer put in this program right near the 3rd Street Promenade.
And other infections. We will have the full statement on our website, foxla.com.
There you go, an LA County funded crack den. That is what your tax dollars are going towards. Unbelievable. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. Let's go to Bill in La Cañada. Bill, hello.
Oh, hi, Randy. Hey, I know from personal journalistic experience and just personal research, and maybe you can run this by Royal Oaks, I think you'll back me up, that the LA City Attorney could prosecute this private homeless healthcare LA outfit for a public nuisance zoning violation with very little I mean, what you've been describing is a classic public nuisance, and there are all sorts of zoning laws against us. I don't care what Barbara Ferrer says. And secondly, more importantly, we need to get Nathan Hochman in there as DA, because based on what you've described, Barbara Ferrer's been doing with these needles in public parks that have affected children, that could be classified as a felony for child endangerment, and she's liable for that even as a public servant.
I would love to see that happen. Unfortunately, with the current city attorney, she politically knows that she can't do anything when her mayor supports this. The Board of Supervisors support this. They endorse this. But yes, maybe Hochman can carry out Ferrer in handcuffs. Wouldn't that be great? Bill, thanks so much for the call. Appreciate it. Hey, it's time. The last big giveaway of the week. It's a big one. Here we go. 790 KABC welcomes Kenny Chesney. The Sun Goes Down tour with Zach Brown Band at SoFi Stadium, July 20th. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. But right now, caller number 9 at 1-888-790-5222 gets a pair of tickets to the show. Tickets furnished by MTG. Good luck dialing. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC. When Bill called in, he mentioned why we got to get rid of Gascon. Gascon is in the news, and it's never for anything good about Gascon, because it turns out he slapped somebody on the wrist 2 years ago for an armed robbery of a Rolex. That person continued to armed rob people with a Rolex, and it led to the death of a tourist in Fashion Island, Newport Beach. Gascon's failures even affect surrounding counties. For more, here's KTLA.
Disturbing new details tonight about the accused ringleader of a robbery crew charged in a deadly attempt in an Orange County mall. Prosecutors say Trish McKay and her husband Douglas were targeted by the three-man crew outside the Fashion Island Mall. But during the confrontation, Trish was run over and killed.
KTLA's Mary Beth McDade is live in Santa Monica with more on the extensive criminal history of the accused ringleader, particularly MB, one controversial case here in LA County.
So a diversion program didn't work?
Hi there, Sam. And, you know, this deadly crime in Newport Beach began when they tried to use a gun and steal Douglas's watch, allegedly. And we're finding out that a similar crime, the leader of that crew tried to commit a similar crime here in Santa Monica. However, he managed to get parole instead of prison.
He got probation for an armed robbery of a Rolex. So instead of being in prison where he belonged, Gascon said, this is the real victim here. This guy deserves a second chance, and he killed somebody.
The alleged armed robbery crew, accused of killing a New Zealand tourist last week at Newport Beach's Fashion Island, appeared in a Santa Ana courtroom today. Cody Green, the president of the Santa Monica Police Officers Association, says the crew's alleged leader, 26-year-old Leroy McClary, should never have even been out on the streets.
He should have been in prison at the time that he committed this egregious crime down in Orange County.
McClary had been arrested.
Some people don't belong in society. People that like to use guns to steal watches don't belong in society. There's no diversion program that's going to help him. He's got to go.
McClary had been arrested in Santa Monica for stealing a Rolex from a man at gunpoint in 2022. McClary managed to avoid prison time when LA County prosecutors made a plea deal, allowing McClary to be sentenced to 2 years probation with a 3-year suspended sentence.
And that totally turned his life around, except that it didn't. He continued doing what he does because Gascon did not care to keep the community safe. And even though this happened in Orange County, Gascon is directly responsible for this monstrosity. I'd love to hear him defend it.
Quite frankly,
this is an incredibly important election, and I don't even care at this point what happens nationally. What's really important is getting out Gascon, getting in this Prop 36 reform, making some significant change right here where we live. It can be done. Gascon is historically unpopular. Hochman can win this thing, and then maybe we get a little normalcy in LA County.
we got some wobbly knees allies.
Thanks so much for listening, everybody. Tomorrow it's happy hour, and apparently it is National French Fry Day, so maybe we'll pay tribute to the things that made me fat. It's the News Blitz with Randy Wang. Thanks so much for listening. I'll see you tomorrow at 5 for another News Blitz with Randy Wang on Talk Radio 790 KABC.